Welcome back to some Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm dear darling. Shall we see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhollow today? This is a Sunday, so we won't be expecting much. Oh, now think about it. I think KK Cider will be in town. Well, not in town. Well, yeah, I mean, yes, in town. On the island. You know what I meant. I'm just going around in circles with this weird conversation. But anyway, didn't play last night. I forgot. So, yeah, not much to it. Oh, of course, fireworks going on. Oh, wait, does that mean there won't be a KK Cider concert? I don't know. Hello there, everyone. Right now in Fawnhollow, it's 5:38 PM on Sunday, August 23rd, 2020. It's another Sunday in August. You know what that means. Another fireworks show will be lighting up our night sky. And just like last time, you'll be able to draw raffle tickets from a store currently located in the plaza. I'll be there too. Can't wait to hear them. Something resident services. That's all for today. Thank you, Isabel. Is it the last Sunday in August? Or is there one more? There's one more next week. Won't be a video on that day, of course, though. But so, what can you do? Not much, not much. Let's check our, I think, Happy Home Academy. Cool. Sup, dear. I was wiping down my workout gear when I suddenly got the urge to lift my couch. I call it couch benching. Get it? Anyway, long story short, I found this under my couch, not my bed. Want it? Well, it's yours now. Muscularly yours, Rowan. What did he give us then? Look at all these presents I didn't put away. A speed bag. Oh, like a boxing speed bag. Got it. Got it. Yeah, I guess KK Side is just not here this week. Kind of sucks for him. He's going to be put out of a job. That's not true. Who on earth knows how wages works in Animal Crossing? What have I been up to do today? Mostly drawing. I played actually quite a bit of Teamfight Tactics earlier today. On a bit of a losing streak. I got demoted and I'm back in Diamond 3. 0 LP again, which is not good. I was on Diamond. I was at Diamond 2 before, I think. About halfway in Diamond 2. And now I've lost about 150 LP. It's because I played some last night. Because I was like, oh, I'll play some. Maybe I was too tired, it was too late or whatever. Didn't go so well. Didn't have a great track record. And I was like, alright, I should stop playing. I'm going to play another one. And I lost. And I was like, alright, okay. Now I should stop playing. I'm going to play another one. And when I lost, I was like, okay. I'm going to go to sleep. So I went to sleep. And then I woke up today. I was like, oof. Whole new day. It's going to be way better than it was yesterday. So I decided to play some this morning. And I went lost. And I was like, okay. I guess it's one of those days then. So yeah, not the greatest run. Wait, how many do we have? 2, 4. I can't count. Grab one, put that in storage. Alright. Just counting to make sure we get the right amount of presents going. We can sell some other fashionable furniture items to clear some storage space as well. Because we are running out of space. So yeah, that was not the greatest experience, I suppose. I'm playing some TFT, but you know, it happens. Winning streaks, losing streaks. It's probably because I'm meant to be around this ELO. It's getting more and more difficult to climb, that sort of thing, you know. Oh, so I've done today. I've done a bit of drawing, not too much. Oh, you know what I did? Well, I was reading just like a few minutes earlier. There's this Ask Reddit thread about I can't remember exactly the question, but it's about basically all the stories about kids in art lessons being like when given the opportunity to draw whatever you want. What did you draw? And that sort of thing. I was just trying to think if I had any of those lessons where it was just like draw whatever you want. I actually can't think of any off the top of my bat, but I do remember quite a few of my art lessons for whatever reason. I remember first day of school, not first day of school. We had like no, we did have a first day of school. That was right. Sorry, what am I talking about? It was the first day of school, and it was sort of like an introductory day to sort of like to secondary school, I should say, or I guess middle school, high school for American inclined. It was like an introductory day, so it was not like proper lessons. It was more like introductory lessons to lessons, I suppose, to get you used to the feeling. I believe. I think this is what happened. And we had an art lesson that day. I remember that. And I was, of course, I was rather shy. I didn't like to talk a lot or whatever. And actually, maybe this wasn't on the first day, but it was one of the first art lessons we had. And our art assignment, I should say, is we had to draw elephant watering can. It's finally here. No, we had to draw a shoe. Our shoe. We took off our left shoe, or was it a right shoe? I don't remember. And we put it down and we drew it. And I remember I sat next to, obviously, someone from my class. And I remembered at the end he was like, hey, you're really good at drawing. And I was like, thank you. And for some reason, I remember that. For no apparent reason, it's just stuck in my memory. My memory, what's happening to my voice? My brain's like that. It just randomly picks out random memories and is like, oh, hey, you want to remember this for like the next 15 years of your life? And I'm like, I mean, I don't see why I'd need to. And it's like, here you go. And I'm like, alright, well, I guess I'll just remember this for the rest of my life. Ah, this made black cosmoses. This actually means these are the wrong types of black cosmoses to be planting here. Oh well, it doesn't really matter. We have a lot of black cosmoses anyway. It's not like we're losing out. So yeah, why do I remember? I don't know. I just do. I don't think we had many freeform art lessons. You know one I do remember? This was like year 9 or so? So you start in year 7. So how old was I? 14? Is that right? I don't know. Sorry, I thought I had some noises. Weird. What was I saying? Yeah, we had a sort of free-form-esque art lesson. It wasn't quite free-form. It was more like... Or was it more like it was? Should I say, you sat down, you closed your eyes, with an A4 piece of paper in front of you, pencil in one hand, just put pencil to paper and just randomly draw lines. Like a continuous line over and over again for like 3 minutes or so. And then once you're done with that, you go in and like colour in the shapes. Like turn them into objects or things. I think it's meant to be in like an exercise in creativity or something. I don't really understand it, to be honest. It was pretty fun though. And I remember that day we did the drawing of the lines for some reason. I was sitting with my friend. And I, for some reason we were just randomly, casually talking to the art teacher. I can't remember what we were talking about though. My memory doesn't go back that far. I just remember one point he was like, oh, you looked at your thing? I was like, no, I didn't. August 31st, we celebrate Audie's birthday. We celebrate Audie, okay? Birthdays are all about showing appreciation for our friends. Let's make sure this one is no exception. Ah, we need to get a present for Rowan and for Audie. Completely forgot. Let's hope I don't forget on that day. Ah, 26th. There won't be a video that day. That's sad. Oh well, what can you do? Yeah, anyway, that was a really fun exercise. Maybe I should try it again, you know. Nowadays, now I'm a bit better at art. I'm more infused by it, I should say. Got some blue pansies. Why don't we put them down over here? Yeah. The reason I remember that so vividly, for some reason, is because we did the drawing on one day and then we did the colouring on another day. But the day we did the colouring, we had a substitute teacher. Because, I don't know what happened to our other art teacher, our regular art teacher. I guess he was busy that day. Maybe he was ill. I can't remember that. We had a substitute teacher, and this substitute teacher, I would say he's not the most popular substitute teacher, mainly because he's kind of mean. He's old and mean, basically, is all I remember. I'm sure he's not actually that mean or anything in real life, but you know, from my 13-year-old perspective, I was like, God, this guy's mean. I especially remember because I remember once we were working with clay for our art lesson, and I had a violin lesson halfway through the lesson, which I completely forgot about until about actually halfway through the lesson. And I was like, oh my god, I got a violin lesson I need to go to, teacher. And then he just berated me for wasting clay because I was like, it's like, oh, we put this clay through this machine, working for you, and now it's like going to waste, it's going to dry and harden up, and it's a waste of, I don't know, the school's money. And I felt so terrible at the time. I was like, oh my god, I'm the worst person. I can't believe, like, I can't believe because I got a violin lesson that I'm now wasting this clay. In retrospect, what the hell? No, I'm not going to be upset about it. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, yes, maybe I could have said at the beginning, I have a violin lesson halfway through. And then maybe he'd be like, I don't know, don't do anything, I guess, for half a lesson. Yeah, like, what am I going to do otherwise? Just sit there? Well, everyone else is like making stuff with clay, and I'm just like, well, I guess I'll just not do anything then. Doesn't make any sense. Now I'm even more outraged in hindsight. Why is he so mean? Doesn't make any sense. Carrots and sticks and all that. I strongly believe in kindness as a teacher. Although I'd imagine if you're actually a teacher, it's probably hard to have a patience to continue that, working with disruptive kids or kids who don't care for the entirety of your time. Shout out to all the good teachers out there, you know. I'm just outraged at that guy. Anyway, oh yeah, we had a substitute teacher that day of well, him, I suppose, and we did the colouring exercise in that art assignment or whatever, and it was really good. And I remember having a grand time, despite the fact that he made us work in silence and we weren't allowed to speak or whatever, or have any fun, of course, in an art lesson. Oh, God forbid, the children have fun with art, you know, expressing themselves or something. This is turning a bit of a rant about him. It's not about him anymore. I don't even know his name anymore. Leave it in the past. Leave it in the past. Anyway, I was having a great time. I was like, oh man, this art piece is looking great. I'm like, this is such a fun exercise. I kept seeing like shapes. I was like, oh, that looks like a fish. And I did this one. I was like, this could be like a boat or something. I can't remember exactly the things I drew. And you know why? Because he collected them up at the end of the lesson and we never saw them again. I was so upset. I was like, I was so happy with that piece of art, and then I don't know what happened to them. We just never got them back. I never even asked our teacher what happened to them. So I'm running back over here because I need to clear out my inventory again. Did we give something to you, Axel? Here's a gift, Axel. Show me what you really got. So we gave something to Axel, Amelia, Diana, right? I think that's about right. I was just upset about art lesson, you know? The fact we never got it back. Of course, in my mind's eye, at the time, I was like, oh, this is like the best thing I've ever done. Probably if I look back on it, I was like, it's okay. Obviously, because, I mean, I wasn't really much of an artist back then. Didn't really spend much time doing art now. Now I do. A lot more drawing. As evidenced by my YouTube thumbnails, which I need to draw some more of, because we're getting to the end of Witness. The game following Witness, probably going to be Opus Magnum. Heads up. And then we're getting... I'm not sure how close we are to the end of Hollow Knight, but the game after Hollow Knight I think is going to be Celeste, probably. Not quite decided on that. If it doesn't end up being those things, that's just how it goes. I just need more puzzle games, basically. Because I was looking at my list of games I had, I was like, oh, I don't know what puzzle game I should play. But it doesn't really matter now, but the series are slowing down, so it'll be a lot easier to manage. What was I saying? Oh. I tried to mute myself to cough, and I accidentally pressed the minus button, and then the Windows was not happy with that. Didn't like me doing that, apparently, but you're not the boss of me, Windows. I already did it. What other cool art lessons do we have? I don't know. At the time, I didn't really appreciate it, but the art lessons we had were actually pretty cool. Methinks. I remember, like, assignments we had in art. Every time we started a new topic, we had to, like, make a new front cover page or something for that art. Like, the only one I can remember is constructivism. We had a module on constructivism. What it's about, I don't remember in the slightest. But we had to all draw, like, our own take on constructivism to signify it was like the start of that module, I suppose, in our art books. I just remember it was a lesson, again, next to the same friend, good old Ned, if he wants a shout out. He probably doesn't, he doesn't know, he doesn't even know I record these. I just remember our art teacher, he was actually a really cool art teacher in retrospect, being like, oh, look at the two completely different approaches and takes you have to approaching the idea of constructivism. You're very different people and it expresses yourself well in your work or something. I can't remember those exact words. It was something like along those lines. He's pretty true. I'm pretty different to him. And then I just remember Ned was all like, oh yeah, that's because I'm so smart and talented and handsome. Like yada yada yada. And I was like, I'm honest. As in the contrast. If you don't get it, implying like Ned was lying and I'm being he wasn't all those things he said he was. I don't know why that stuck in my mind. I also remember what I drew for constructivism. I drew a building. I guess because I took it much more literally. You know, I'm going to look up what constructivism even is. Constructivism. I remember I drew a skyscraper building with like different blocks of it spelling out the letters for constructivism. And I remember at the top it was an antenna. Not an antenna, sorry. Satellite. A satellite dish for the sea. Constructivism art? Constructivism art is an artistic and architectural philosophy that originated in Russia. Abstract and austere constructivist art aimed to reflect modern industrial society and urban space. So it's not too far off, probably. You might say it probably doesn't bode well for art lessons if you can't remember the thing you were taught about. And I was like, that's fair. That's fair. I can't... Oh, you know, I do remember our assignment for that. Like, we have, like, a big overarching module assignment or whatever that we're working up to. We had to plan for. And it was making something. Making some sort of art project, I suppose, that related to constructivism. I remember what I did. I made... Basically, it was like... It was meant to be like a house of cards. Because I was like, oh, you can make house of cards. That's kind of like constructivism. Architectural... mumbo jumbo, but with cards or something. And then I remember I had like a shoebox, and I put like hearts and diamonds and spades and clubs on it, and I painted it red and black. And then my initial plan was to make an actual house of cards, but then like the last lesson came along, and I was like, oh my god, I can't make a house of cards. So what I did was like I stuck like the aces at the back of a tissue box. Sorry, shoebox. Have I been saying tissue box the entire time? It was a shoebox, not tissue box. And then like I had the cards like sort of fan outwards, downwards, the front of a box. What's it got to do with constructivism anymore? I don't know. Like, I barely remember what constructivism even was. I don't know how to link it back or anything like that. There we go. That's my project. Oh, you know, that was also a special art lesson. You know why? Because earlier that day I broke my glasses. And it was really difficult. That's why it was so difficult, I remember now, working on that project. I think we had like PE earlier in the day, and we had basketball or whatever. And I remember it was actually another one of my friends, Matt. He like threw a 3-pointer or something on basketball. And for some reason I just watched it, or maybe I didn't watch it, I can't remember. Anyway, it rebounded and like smacked me straight in the face, and it broke my glasses. And then everything became... No, maybe it wasn't early in the day. Maybe it was just the lesson immediately before the art lesson. And it was really difficult to work on an art project when you can't really see what you're doing. Because I have terrible eyesight. See? Why does my brain remember these things? I don't remember. I don't know. Anyway, that's constructivism. That's not what constructivism is, I suppose. But I suppose that's my take on constructivism. Oh, we didn't check if Isha was in her home or not. Probably should have done that. What other cool art lessons did we have? Hard to remember a cohesive storyline for it. Oh, you know what? I remember another art exercise we had was... I think it's when we did like... Cubism? Some sort of very abstract form of art. I don't understand why there's always like a line break at the beginning of some of these. We had to basically make a load of thumbnail style drawings over and over again. Really quickly. Just like... You start with like a load of shapes and then you start morphing it into things or something like that, I remember. And then we had to make a big piece at the end of... It was sort of like brainstorming, trying to iterate on your previous ideas or something like that. I don't remember it very well, as you can tell. I can picture what I drew. It was like... Well, I can picture one of the stages for some reason. I don't remember why I don't remember the final stage. I remember this stage. It was like a yellow background, and it had like a green sort of hill shape in the back. And then there was like a red hourglass shape on the left with like a black square on top of it. Sorry, radio, I did not pay attention to what you said. Isn't it amusing that someone else has moved in with red eyes, hey? Black fur, red eyes. I guess cows don't really have fur. Black skin. I don't know. What do cows have? Or bulls, I should say. Anyway, what other cool art lessons did we have? Oh no, my pockets are full. Bury it again. How are my pockets always so full? I'm just carrying far too many things, apparently. Let's go sell some, shall we? Shall we sell? That's probably... Oh, you know, this was a big project in like the year before or something with a different art teacher, where we had to... I don't even remember what the exact premise was, because I remembered I missed... Oh, we're holding so many things. We don't need this, we've already got one of those. Let's just sell all of these things. Actually, bathtub wrap's quite fun. Yeah, we can sell these. We'll just order them again, Chad, we need it. I don't remember the exact project specifications, because I missed that lesson. I missed that first lesson. I found it secondhand from some of my friends. It was you had to pick an art form, and then the end goal was to make a clock based of it. And because I missed that lesson, I found out about it a bit later. I also didn't write it down as one of my current homework projects, which I had to do, so I forgot about it until the day before. I was like, oh my god, I have done no research. I've done nothing to prepare for this. So I I looked down like the list of art styles, and I think I just chose the one which I thought was like, this seems pretty easy to do something for. And I remember it was called D-Style or whatever. It's like a Dutch movement. D-E space S-T-I-J-L. Except for I didn't know how to say it, so I was like Distigal or something. I think it's like D-Style. That's how you meant to say it. I don't remember. And I made my very quick drawing of what my clock looked like. Spoilers, my clock looked nothing like that by the end. I remember it though. Sort of. Because this style, you know? I'm going to look up how you say it before I butcher it over again. It's a movement that a lot of people probably know about. Dutch for the style, I do remember. How to pronounce it? Dictionary.com?
The style.
The style. It's a very minimalist style of art form, I suppose. You know those like famous pieces where it's just like the white square with like the black lines over the top, and then like some of the squares are coloured like red or yellow or blue? It's that. Well, I hope it's that. Otherwise I did my assignment wrong. And I remember when I lost my mind. I sort of vaguely remember my clock. It had like a pole in the middle, and it was going to be like things branching out, and I was going to stick like red, yellow and blue squares all over the top of it to mimic that sort of grid system they got. Of course, we didn't have any of the materials to do that back at home, so I couldn't really make a clock like that. I think I used a metal pipe, which we had like lying around because my dad does like a load of DIY stuff. We painted it white, and then I used paper clips, I think, to make all the numbers and stick them on. And except for we didn't have like a hot glue gun or anything, so I had to use like blue tack to hold everything together. And I think I put it... Oh, I already gave you something. I'll be seeing you. Oh, we don't need 10 things because we can't give radio anything. I forgot. Anyway, I used like blue tack to stick everything together, and it didn't really stick together, I'll be honest. I mean, because blue tack isn't that strong at holding up large weights, shall we say. So that's difficult. I mean, when I put it in a tissue box, I don't remember why I put it in a cut open tissue box. So sort of throwing things together, and it wouldn't stand up by itself, which is, you know, a pretty important part for a clock. So I was like, oh no. And when it came to time to present it, and I just stood up at the front, I was like very casually trying to rest my finger on top. So I like held the pole steady so it wouldn't fall over. And then my art teacher called me out and was like, does it actually stand up on its own? And I was like, yeah. And then like I pushed it, I like balanced it really carefully, and I let go, and it stood up on its own, and I was like, this is the time clock. You pulled through for me. 'Cause actually, I remember I woke up early to work on it because I left it so last minute for some reason. I don't normally leave like homework last minute. I don't know why I left that so last minute, but I woke up at like 4 AM to work on it before school. Terrible time, terrible clock as well. Don't know what happened to it. We probably threw it away. Oh no, we left it in school because it was on like an art display of all the clocks that people made up. It probably fell over multiple times or whatever. Probably a nightmare for the art department to really work with. And I just didn't come into school to take it home, to be honest. It was not good. I'm not missing out on much, to be honest. Unfortunately, it's probably in like a dumpster somewhere. Unless they took it and recycled its part. They probably took the clock parts or something. I don't know. Anyway, that's my foray into art. Much better. I'm a much better artist now than I was back then. Back then I was much more logical. Thinking creatives didn't have as much. Didn't express my creativity as much. I suppose. Not that it's a bad thing to come out. To approach art, I suppose, in a much more logical, scientific way. I think there's definitely a place for that, you know? It shouldn't be looked down upon. Why don't we get rid of some more things, because we have too many things in our storage again. I don't know why we have so many cyber shades. Yeah, like, there's different approaches to art. Art is an open topic. You know? There's no one right way to go about it. If you approach it from a much more logical perspective, you might feel down on yourself being like, oh, this is uncreative. Nah, it's creative. With regulations and doing things to the letter, I suppose. There's merit in that in art as well. It shouldn't be disregarded just because it seems much more carefully measured rather than quote-quote freeform creativity, you know? Not saying that you shouldn't express creativity in art, but that is a large part of it for lots of people, but I don't know, art can be a lot of different things to different people. Anything can be art, because art is more of your own interpretation of it, I suppose, rather than a objective reality. You know? You might see something on the floor and to you might be like, this is utter rubbish. What's the point of this? Or it's like something in an art museum. But to someone else, maybe it could hold deeper meaning to them. Inspire something in them. Invokes emotions. That's kind of what art's about, isn't it? And I suppose even now I take it from a very straightforward point of view. I don't do like any impressionism or something. I just like to draw pretty things. Pretty ideas that come to mind. Which in my case is my mascot character. I suppose. My persona, you might say. Taking her place in random games, I suppose. Gaming worlds. That's fun. Anyway, that's a cool subject. Even if you don't like it, if you don't think you're a creative person, just, I don't know, go wild, I suppose, not. That's kind of what it is. It's a very free-form subject, I suppose. Or at least when I was taught it. Back whenever when. And we don't have a lot of time, so I guess we'll just check the Nook shopping. See if we've got a new song which we can investigate. Otherwise we won't. Yeah. I know. I think it's just a nice departure from other subjects, necessarily. Coming from someone like me who is a mathematician themselves. Isn't it crazy? I like both maths and art. Well, I like bits and pieces of both. I won't say I like everything about art. I won't say I like everything about maths, because that's just definitively wrong. But I like, there's elements of both I like. But anyway, we've gone long enough. Why don't we round off this episode here? So if you have been watching, thank you very much. This has been Animal Crossing New Horizons, and I've been Dear Darling. Any likes, comments, and subscriptions are greatly appreciated, and I hope we can see each other again. But for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, that's not how we do it, mates. Bye-bye for now. Creative art lessons, huh?